Hello to all you vacation rental pioneers out there. My name's Matt Landau, and this is Unlocked, the podcast series that introduces you to the world's leading vacation rental innovators by diving deep into one single key, one specific best practice or technique that opened the door and changed the game. I was introduced to the great Jeanne Dailey by Sean Miller, who's the president of Point Central, the sponsor of our podcast. Jeanne is magic. She's the founder and CEO of Newman Dailey Resort Properties in Florida. And like many vacation rental professionals, Jeanne loves the hospitality side of our business. But unlike many vacation rental professionals, Jeanne found herself growing several other businesses, all of which work together in the same ecosystem. In our conversation, Jeanne walks us through how each of these pillars helps one another to create the most sustainable vacation rental business model that you will find. My name is Matt Landau, and this is Unlocked. How are you?
Great. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Introduce yourself first.
So I'm Jeanne Dailey from Destin, Florida, and I'm the founder and CEO of Newman Dailey Resort Properties.
Which is an incredible company, been going now for 30 plus years.
Yep.
And for those who are not with us, explain where we are seated right now.
We are seated at the VRMA conference in the conference center of the MGM Grand Hotel in Las Vegas.
Yeah. And did you have a good conference?
Yeah, great conference.
Excellent. We also had the chance to meet a bunch of other industry folks, including Mr. Sean Miller, first time I ever met him. Sean is sitting approximately 10 feet from us, as well as our friends over from Booking.
Yay.
And Tammy. This has been a wonderful event. And I always love these kinds of conferences because they're a nice excuse to sit down with people that I admire who are doing great things. And more specifically, dive into specific actions or specific techniques that people can take advantage of. And in our first conversation, you started off by explaining a little bit about your business. And I realized very quickly that the beauty is in the diversification of it. So would you mind summarizing from a high level the different pillars of the business to begin with?
Well, when I started the business originally, I came to Destin to work for a developer. And so, of course, I was handling some real estate sales. And then we started a vacation rental program. And of course, since it was a townhome, it had a homeowners association. So we managed the homeowners association. And then some people didn't want to rent short term. They wanted to rent long term. So we actually started those 4 pillars of the business. So real
Right
estate
off the bat?
sales. Yeah.
At
right
the
from
very
the beginning.
beginning? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And,
well, we had, 5 vacation rentals or something.
And that was what year, remind me?
I started the business in 1985.
Okay. And did all of them begin to grow steadily at the same time, or were there some that were doing better than others at different times?
Yeah, this is in the 80s. So Reagan announced the tax reform. There's an oil crisis in Louisiana and Texas, so our market dried up. And it was really hard to get anybody to come in and buy property. But Destin was being discovered and people were coming on vacation. So we could enhance the vacation rental side of the business. It was a very young community. So we were able to grow through just word of mouth and reputation. There weren't many companies there at that time. Since real estate sales was not really an income stream with negative AM mortgages and not many people coming to town, we were able to build up the rental department, both on the short-term and the long-term side. And then they became the steady stream of income that helped keep the business on track.
So which components of the business require certain types of licensing or permitting?
So to manage homeowners associations, and we're in the state of Florida, so I'm sure every state is different, it requires a community association manager's license. For real estate, it requires, you have to have a real estate license for a year and then get your broker's license in order to open up a real estate company. At the time when I started the business, you did have to have a real estate license to manage any vacation rentals. It was considered a real estate transaction. Those laws were since changed in the 90s, and so you no longer have to have a real estate license, but we have the broker's license and the CAM. I have both licenses.
So what does this afford you? I mean, you're not a normal vacation rental business. You have these different pillars. What kind of market changes does this allow you to weather?
Well, tremendous market changes, because as I've already said, when sales were plummeting, we had the long-term rentals and we had the steady income from association management. So I could keep the business going. I could continue to make payroll. We would still have some vacation rentals, but that wasn't the strength of our business. Then as the market turned around, real estate sales became really strong. After the oil spill, vacation rentals plummeted, but people were trying to still buy up some property. So sales was strong, but we still had that steady income stream of the association and the long-term rental department.
And how do you sustain some of those branches if that sector is dried up? How do you keep those employees on, or did you just have enough movement?
You figure it out, you just take another step and take another breath and figure out how to make the next day happen. And even through the oil spill, while a number of people resigned, we didn't replace them, but I never cut anyone. I never laid anybody off. I never cut payroll. I never cut any benefits. Nobody got a bonus and nobody got a pay raise. But everybody still had their jobs. So
Did you even think about maybe becoming a little leaner?
Well, yeah, I mean, we cut the office cleaning down from twice a week to once a week, and they still razz me because I cut out the water coolers.
Jeanne.
You find little ways. I know, how horrific.
But
Drink out of the tap.
In the end, the actual employees were something that you weren't willing to compromise on.
No, because in order to keep the business strong and solvent, you have to get and keep good people. When we have a longevity of employees, it's like an average of 13 to 15 years, I think. And I want them there. I want them to have that high vacation schedule plan because then it makes your business run so much smoother and you can scale up when you have enough people on board that all know what they're doing. With the recent Hurricane Michael, came in on Monday morning and I started giving them what the plan was. Everybody took their role, ran with it, and it was unbelievably smooth, and our recovery was unbelievably smooth. Now, granted, we were blessed, we weren't hit, but still, the action plan was strong.
I'd like to take a quick moment to share a little vignette that I keep coming back to, and it's the vacation rental movement like a parade that's coming through town. As independent owners and managers, we can either jump in and join the action, or we can watch it pass by. And as you can hear from this conversation, joining in on the parade means innovating, adopting new technology, and doing things that haven't been done before. This podcast would not be possible without the support of Point Central, a company that epitomizes innovation. Their property automation services like smart locks and smart thermostats allow us to focus on the highest value jobs, in the process delivering a more seamless experience to the people that we work with. Head over to pointcentral.com/VRMB to learn more. That's pointcentral.com/VRMB. Thanks to the Point Central team for their leading role in our proud vacation rental parade. Now let's get back to the show.
So this is a perfect example of what happens when some sort of threat. And how would you describe the way that you rebounded, as it is different from just a single vacation rental business that didn't have these different pillars? Were you able to sustain it better?
Yeah, we can, because we're always going to have a consistent income stream because of the income of the association management and the long-term rentals. And we also own our own laundry. So we have income coming in from that as well.
I like how you just kind of throw that in.
Yeah, sorry.
What does your own laundry look like?
Well, it handles all of our units. We have approximately 300 vacation rentals, so we handle all of the linen for our units so that we have complete control over it. We have one small contract that we do for a friend of mine, and then all of our comforters and, all of that stuff too.
So you almost control, for lack of a better word, the entire chain.
Yeah.
Is that the big picture
idea?
idea?
Yeah, because it's great for the cross-marketing too, Matt. You bring up a good point, because we'll sell them the product in an association that we manage and then take it on as a vacation rental. So then we keep them. We want to build long-term relationships with our customers so that they sell that and they upgrade to something better and keep them within our chain.
So if I'm listening to this and I have a vacation rental business, I don't have my own laundry facility, I don't have a real estate license, I don't have a management permit, what would be like a good step for me to diversify my model that's reasonable and not totally risky? Is there a way I can do it without having started from scratch the way that you did?
Well, sure. Hire a camp manager and take over an association and just manage your business, stay on top of it, and manage the details each and every day, and communicate with your clients and customers.
Who would you go to for an association? I don't know how that world works.
So you owned a property in a condominium and you paid your monthly dues. And so we collect those dues on behalf of that association, and it's run by a board of directors. Well, they basically abdicate their responsibilities to us. And they're all small cities, so we run their small city. We make sure that their bills get paid, that the pool gets cleaned, that their yard gets cut, that their insurance is paid and in the right parameters. If they have some major construction that they want to complete, we get an engineer there to come and create the parameters for the job, and then hire the contractors to perform the work and replace the roof or paint it or
So with
whatever.
everything that you know, if you were to go to now a new destination and start rebuilding this model, how would you find those kinds of people? How do you find them?
That business or the employees?
No, that business.
Just start knocking on doors and going to properties and finding out who are the board presidents, who are going to be the decision makers in the complexes to determine whether or not they want to hire a different company. And this is a good time of year for transition. A lot of transitions happen in January. But you got to have a good, strong accounting program for them, too.
And you're big on tech. I mean, you're utilizing technology any chance you can, the right kind of tech,
Yes.
of course.
Yeah.
For you, software is a big one.
Software is a big one, and I've learned so much coming to these VRMA conferences and learned about Kava locks 15 years ago, whenever they first came out. But I didn't feel like they'd have the technology to make it through our climate on the Gulf Coast. So I waited a long time before I bought those. And we installed those and found out how phenomenal it was not to have keys anymore. Well, then we were having some problems with the locks, and we found out about the Point Central locks. And because they run on cellular rather than Wi-Fi, and Wi-Fi's like some of the bane of our existence because it's constantly going down, those locks are phenomenal. And the dashboard that we get from their enterprise system, so that I can sit at my desk and determine when a guest has gone in and out of a unit. And it's turned our housekeeping into one of the most efficient processes possible, because we can see the codes coming through. And the guests checking out, they put in a code, so we can start housekeeping at 5 and 6 in the morning.
You even use that for the real estate side of things too?
Oh, yeah. Every one of our agents has their own code. And so if they go to show a property, their code goes in so we can see when they went in. There's a code that they put in when they leave, so we know that they've left. And even if other realtors come, so they get assigned a code, so we can track everything that's happened in that unit. And the safety and security is phenomenal. And we can do it from our desk.
And she was not paid to say that. She's just speaking from the heart.
It's the truth.
I'm going to try to summarize what I've learned from you in the past 15 minutes, and please add in anything that I miss. When you started your business, you realized that putting all of your eggs in one basket, one company, one industry, one sector, is potentially risky.
Yes.
And so you built pillars of this business model, which included the vacation rental, the real estate, the laundry, and the association management. 4 pillars. This is not easy, because there were times in which you had to really look closely at your numbers, but it also afforded you a certain kind of health when faced with market threats such as natural disasters and just general
downturn in the market in 7 and 8.
Which happens. It allowed you the ability to not only survive, but I'm guessing when other companies were closing up shop or really struggling, excel and sort of thrive over the long haul.
Yes.
Is that accurate?
Yes.
And of course, that you love Point Central.
Exactly.
Thank you for sharing this with us. I think it's a wonderful combination of very high-level strategy, but also sort of step-by-step actions that people can take and become a more sustainable business.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's been great. Thanks, man.
And to close, just a quick reminder of who made this episode possible. It's Point Central, the property automation experts of our industry. Head over to pointcentral.com/VRMB to learn more. And when you use that page, you'll become eligible for free HVAC analytics, which tells managers when the HVAC starts to misbehave before our guests get upset. This also makes property owners happy by taking care of the problem before it becomes too expensive. And if you're feeling cheerful, please also consider writing us a quick review in your podcast app. We read every single one of them, and we pass them along to our esteemed guests. This industry is growing up quickly, my friends. This industry is unlocked.